Good morning, everyone. I'm Paul Galbraith. I'm a counseling psychologist and the school psychologist at King Edward VII School. This is the second video in the series that I'm doing to help boys cope effectively during the lockdown period. The topic of this video is resilience. So what is resilience? Resilience is essentially a person's ability to bounce back, to adapt and recover quickly in difficult or challenging situations and circumstances. It's also sometimes referred to as grit or mental toughness. So when we are faced with difficult circumstances, challenging situations, what often happens is that our attention and our focus is so consumed by whatever it is we're going through. It can be consumed by difficult thoughts and feelings, being sort of too focused on the future and what might happen, or too focused on the past and what might have happened. And all of that means that we sometimes don't have anything left in our tanks to live in ways that are helpful and in ways that are preferable to us. So this video is all about building resilience. And one of the ways of doing that is being very clear in terms of what your core values are as a person, and then making sure that your actions, your decisions, and how you approach life on a day-to-day basis is consistent with those values. So I'm going to take you through a 4-part process in terms of how to build resilience using your values. So step 1, I'd like you just to get a piece of paper and write down what exactly the difficult situation that you're currently experiencing is. Just describe the difficult situation that you're going through. Step 2, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to spend some time thinking very hard about all of the very good reasons, the best reasons that you can think of to get through this difficult circumstance or situation effectively. So write that down, write it down in as much detail as you can. Step 3, now what you're going to do is you're going to have a look at what you've written down in step 2. And you're going to find out what your values are based on what you've written in step 2. So for example, let's say that the difficult circumstance or situation that I'm facing is that I was dropped from a sports team. I might write down that my really good reasons for getting through this are things like that I just love the sport. I love taking part and being part of a team. I love the feeling that I get when I'm performing at my best. I want to make my friends and family proud, and perhaps I just want to prove that I have what it takes. So from all of that, then I would figure out what my core values are behind all of those reasons. So for example, the fact that I love the sport, the core values behind that might be things like enjoyment and passion. Taking part and being part of a team, the core values behind that could be things like participation and teamwork. I really value participating and being part of a team. Loving the feeling of performing at my best could be values of performance, mastering skills, achieving an achievement. Making my friends and family proud could reflect values of just relationships being really important to me. And then just proving what I have, that I have what it takes, could reflect values of accomplishment, determination. So from that, I would figure out what my core values are, and I would make a list of what my core values are. Step 4 involves putting together a visual representation of your values, something that you're going to be able to look at and see every single day. For those of you who are creative, you can do this by creating a vision board, cutting out pictures and words from magazines and sticking them on a piece of paper, pictures and words that would reflect your values in some way. You could also just make illustrations of pictures and words that reflect your values. For those of you who are a little bit less creative, you could do something like this. This is what we call a self-contract, and basically what it says is I and your name commit to living in ways that are consistent with my values despite the challenging situation that I'm going through, and then you would write down all of your values, exactly what they are, on the page, and then you would sign it, date it, and from there you would stick that up and have it somewhere where you could look at it every day. You would want that vision board or that self-contract that you've put together, you would want that to be put up somewhere where you can see it, and have a look at it every day and just monitor yourself on a day-to-day basis to determine whether the decisions that you're making and the actions that you're taking each day are consistent with your values, and then just committing, even in difficult situations and difficult times, to making sure that your actions and decisions are consistent with those values. So that's the process. I have put together a worksheet that takes you through the process. It will be on the D6 communicator. And my email address is pgalbraith, that's GALBRAITH, at cares.co.za. Drop me an email if you've got any questions or if there are any other topics that would be helpful for me to cover.